Welcome back to the channel, guys.
Season 2, episode 2.
Season 2, episode 2. What? I was saying, because he's got two Civics that are within a few years of each other, and so his parts
Literally
are like
a year from each
right.
other.
So most of his parts he could transfer right over into the blue one. It's pretty much stock. So I was saying, like, if I had both cars, I think me personally, I would just take the headlights and taillights or whatever I wanted and put it on the blue. Maybe put the wheels on the blue one, just to kind of give it a little more edge.
Yeah.
And what Kendrick was sharing was that he has a different idea or like a different plan. You know.
Yeah.
That's what
Like,
you're talking about.
So both my cars, I want them to have their own look.
Okay.
So my red one, because this is like my baby. You know,
Right.
I love this car.
What's up, baby girl?
That one, I wanted it to be clean. You
Okay.
know, like fresh paint. You know, looking real clean and everything else. I have it lowered with some like side skirts, a front lip, rear lip. You know, all this other stuff.
It looks bad.
Clear taillights, clear headlights, and you know, stuff like that. Like that one, I have a lot of attention to detail in.
True that, yeah, you do.
The blue one is gonna be more of my.
Just gonna drive it off a road. And
More
see
of
what
like
happens.
my clapped Civic.
Oh, okay.
So like how it has like door like dings and shit,
Yeah.
and you know, a little bit of rust here and there.
He's gonna paint it rusty.
I want to keep it
It's
like
the
that.
Rusty Rebel.
No. And then it has like.
You want to keep it blue?
Oh, I'm gonna keep it blue. I'm gonna keep it
Okay.
exactly how it is. How it's like faded paint.
Oh, that's sick.
A little bit of rust.
Okay, so you're gonna keep it.
I'm gonna
aged.
keep it. Yeah, exactly. And then I'm
Yeah.
gonna lower it like I did with my red one.
It already kind of looks lower.
Well, it's because they like
They did
compressed
that-
the springs. Like they did real ghetto.
Oh,
It
shit.
doesn't have coilovers on it. So I'm gonna buy coilovers for it.
Did they?
No, I don't think they chopped it. I haven't looked, but from what I was told from the person I bought it from, he said
So
that
they compressed the spring. Were they
compressed the
zip tie them
spring.
together?
I guess so. I'm assuming. The dude said it looked sketchy, so I haven't even wanted to look yet.
Oh God.
But
He's gonna be driving down the road and like airbags popping and shit. Boom! Like
I
what
don't
was
think it has
that?
airbags. But what's it called?
He's got a fat exhaust.
I'm gonna keep it the way it is.
Okay.
Obviously lower it because all my cars have to be low.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna get some Steelies. Some like deep dish Steelies.
Okay.
And I already found some on Facebook, so I'm gonna go buy those. But they have like it's all white, and the
Okay.
paint's kind of messed up with like a little bit of rust.
Okay.
And that's how I want it to be. So I'm gonna have it sitting like that. So this one's gonna be like my aged Civic, but still look good. And then my red one's gonna be like my new refurbished, clean Civic.
So blue one's gonna be the old lady, and the red one's gonna be the side chick.
Pretty much.
Very good. That's cool. So what are you thinking on like, spoilers? Are you just literally gonna keep it
this one
like a sleeper, like stock?
The one on the red one, I pulled off of the one on the blue one. The one on the red one came on the blue one.
Oh, that's black.
Yeah, I painted that one. That's the one that off the red one.
Bro,
That's
where's
the
that
smaller
Mugen
one.
with the Mugen one?
The Mugen one's over there in the
Bro,
back.
the Mugen one would look good on the 4-door.
See, but the reason I don't like that Mugen one is because it flaps in the wind.
Oh.
Because it's fake. It's
But
not,
it's
not
clapped
real.
out car, so it works. It's gonna be clapped.
I don't want it to be that clapped. But so like I'm also gonna buy like another front lip. I'm gonna buy another rear lip, side skirts for the blue one. But I'm gonna paint them like a satin black.
Let's go.
So it stays kind of, you know, like low key.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get the wheels for it. I'm gonna keep that exhaust. As much as I honestly hate it, I'll probably just put like a resonator on it to kind of quiet it down, because it's ridiculous driving down the road in that damn thing.
So awesome. I love it.
It sounds cool,
Yeah.
but when it gets to like higher RPMs,
It gets tin
and
candy.
it gets like tin can, it's annoying.
Nice.
But basically everything that I have on my red one, I'm gonna get for the blue one.
Okay.
Only thing is that it's not gonna be as like fresh and clean as it is on the
Right.
red one. And then I want to get like 2 new fenders for the blue one, because those are like dented in. Someone fucking drop kicked the fender, I guess,
Back or front?
in the front. So I'm gonna get 2 new ones. You know,
Drop kicked it.
keep them black and just leave them on there, so it's
Okay.
like all mismatch paneled. But,
Okay.
yeah, I just want to keep it like
I like that.
rustic.
Yeah.
Like
Like it
love.
looks like shit,
Yeah.
but it's not. But but
No,
it looks,
call it a piece of- it is a piece of
just
shit.
looks like. It looks like you're not trying to make it look pretty, but in
Exactly.
the essence of it not being pretty, it's pretty.
Exactly.
It's pretty
Exactly.
because it's aged. It's classic. It's vintage.
Yeah.
That's the word, vintage.
Vintage.
Nice.
And then the red one's gonna be like my fucking show car,
Right.
brand new paint, everything else.
Dude, that's gonna be sick.
But that's my plan with both of these cars. And then I'm gonna probably end up engine swapping the red one, because that engine is just old. You know, 200 and something thousand miles. It just needs to be changed out.
Swapped out.
So later on down the road, that's my plan, is to change that out.
Swap it, yeah.
So whenever I feel like driving the red one, I'll drive the red one. Whenever I feel like driving the blue one, I'll drive the blue one. That's what also because like the red one's automatic, the blue one's a manual.
Right.
So I think I'm just gonna keep it like that. I'm not gonna swap the red one into a manual. I'll just leave it as is.
No, it'll be nice, man. Like a show car, I feel like a show car, bro, you just want to like cruise. You don't want to be like have to deal with shifting and
well, that and like
and
every now and then it's kind of annoying having to fucking like shifting gears and then like pedal, clutch, gas, stop, and especially when you're in traffic. I don't want to go through that shit.
It's the worst.
So I think I'm just gonna keep my red one as an automatic and my blue one is my manual.
That's cool.
And then just have both of those.
That's pretty dope.
And then the Volkswagen can go to hell. That car can.
Well, no, we want someone to buy it, so you get.
Well, I want someone to buy it. I just don't care for the car.
Yeah, I got you.
I have no fucks given for this car,
Right.
but I don't drive it. You know, it just sits on my yard. I have a for sale sign on it. But if anything,
I will say, dude, you sold some cars out of this yard, so it'll get gone.
I've had 21 vehicles.
Damn, boy.
And I'm only 26, and I've had 21 vehicles.
Yeah, that's fire.
Not really. It's bad financial decisions.
Yeah.
But it's just because, you know,
I've had a lot too, but
I want to be able to get all the cars that I'm wanting before, you know, my life ends.
True that.
You know, so that way I can say, you know, I've had these cars, I loved them, and I wanted them, and everything else, and that's exactly what I'm doing. You know,
100%, bro.
I'm not being like, oh, you know,
I wish I would have had that car.
Yeah, no.
See, the worst is like, I personally think the worst feeling ever is being like, I wish I woulda, shoulda, coulda, whatever.
Exactly.
You know, and it's like, and that's the thing. To your point, to what you were talking about is, I don't care how many cars I go through. I don't ever want to be sitting at the end of my life when I can't drive anymore because I'm senile and whatever, and I'm shitting my pants all day long. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit there and be like, man, I wish I would have, you know, man, I wish I would. No, like, I want to just go, I want to have it.
Yeah.
I want to go drive it. And like,
that's what I'm saying.
To your point, like when you got
to live your life to the fullest, man. You got to do the things that you want to do. You can't be like, oh, well, what if I'm short on rent this day, blah, blah, blah. What if I mean, yeah, obviously, rent's important.
Right.
But it's like you
take
also...
care of your priorities, but
yeah,
you
but
still...
like, also have fun.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy your life.
Like, I remember when you were telling me a story when you got the 350Z. Like, you were like, oh, I love the 350Z. It was so cool. It was so awesome until you got it.
Yeah.
Then you drove it, and you're like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I hate this car.
Yep.
Right? And I was like, I love the 350Z too because of Fast and Furious.
And that was like
drift.
Well, the reason I got the 350Z was because my friend Chris had one. He had a 350Z, and we were always driving it and stuff. And I was like, this car's cool. And then, but he never let me drive it. And then he got a 370Z, and I loved that car too. I was like, these cars are so sick.
Yeah.
But then I started becoming, I guess, more of like a mechanic, where I started learning how to work on cars. I learned the defaults about cars, the other stuff. And so when I got my 350Z and I drove it, I was like, dude, this car sucks. I was like, this is the most uncomfortable car I've ever driven. So, you know, comparing that one to my friend's 350Z, the one I had was garbage.
Right.
So I have no hate towards 350Zs. 350Zs are sick. They're clean cars. But for me, I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
So that's why I just took it back. I was like, I don't want this car. Just take it back.
I didn't mean to make it sound like you were like they are trash.
No.
The point is, if there's a car you want, just go get it and then like enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now,
what I will say is if there's a car that you're really wanting, make sure you've driven that car before.
Oh, before just going and buying it.
You know, like the feeling of it, so that way you're not getting a car and then you hate it.
Facts.
So like me with the Z.
Right, true.
I wanted it so bad. I spent $6,000 on it.
Yeah. And
then fucking hated it.
Well, and that also makes me think about my experience with the Focus ST. So I went to CarMax, I traded my truck, and they gave me like almost $8,000. I was like, holy shit, you guys are stupid. Absolutely, I'll take that. So I owed like $1,500. I paid the $1,500, and then I was like, well, let me go look at a car. So CarMax, if you don't know, they give you like 30 days to basically drive the car. If you decide to buy the car, they give you like a 30-day window. And it's 100%. You can bring the car back within 30 days or before 1,500 miles are put onto the car. As long as there's nothing cosmetically wrong or the car hasn't changed at all from when it left the dealership, like you bought it and you fucking slapped new wheels on it, like they're not going to take it back. Like you got to bring it back in the same condition you purchased it from. And you have 30 days or 1,500 miles, which that's a pretty good, to like basically drive it around and make sure you like it. If you don't like it, they will undo everything they did. And so your first payment when you go in is 45 days from when you buy the car. So I'm driving the car in the test drive because it's been so long since I've been in a fun little like, and I had seen them.
Yeah, I mean, they're all over town.
And my thought was, I'm like, this is basically like a Dodge Neon SRT4, except for it's the Ford Focus.
And it's a hatchback.
And it's a hatch, right. And so I was like, but the engine, the idea was the same. But I had all these ideas about, this is probably just the same thing. So I'm driving it, and I can hear, like, the vibrations of the exhaust, which are fun, and I'm like, this is cool, and it's got, I mean, it had some torque on it.
It sounded good too.
Sounded good. It drove good. It was clean, good AC. Not too loud outside noise. I was like, basically what I expected from a Ford Focus, right? But I had it for like 2 weeks, and as I drove it more and more, I kept finding different things that were like red flags for me. So the car had so much high-end torque. I keep wanting to say twerk. High-end twerk. That like when you would drop it in gear and hammer it, the car would get real fucking squirrely. And that's weird because it's a front-wheel drive car. But there were a lot of things, to your point, there was a lot of things that I didn't realize about the car that I did not like until I drove it. And you can't drive it in 20 minutes and find that stuff out.
Yeah.
Because the 20-minute drive is you just being excited. Grateful for CarMax for having that opportunity to be able to return it, because I did. I was like, nah, man, you know what? There's, outside of the fact that it was going to cost me a ridiculous amount of money for the car, because I put no money down and my credit was like just good. They wanted a lot of money for that car. But outside of that, there was just all these red flags. I was like, no way, dude, because it's boosted. I also wanted to hear the turbo spool. I wanted to hear like the engine. I wanted to hear it purr and just whoosh. And what I learned about the Focus is they built the car so that way you don't hear any of that, except for the exhaust rattle or like the rumbling of the
rattle,
exhaust.
it's not even supposed to be there.
Well, yeah, the rattle's not supposed to be there.
It's the idle, like,
just the
rumble.
Like the nice deep tones of the exhaust, which just sounded
idle,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, I was going to have to spend like almost $1,000 just to hear the motor. I was like, what the? They like, Ford, in that car, they specifically built it in a way where you weren't going to hear any of the outside noise. I'm like, why? Stupid. I mean, to me, that's dumb. So, that and amongst other driving features that I was like, this is sketchy as fuck. Like, I'm doing 60 miles an hour and this car wants to go sideways? What? That's not, no, I'm good.
That's not normal. Yeah.
Not normal, yeah. So I traded it in, but to your point exactly, go and drive, and if you can find it at CarMax, buy it, set it up, take it out for...
And I mean, if you know somebody that has the vehicle, like a friend,
that'd be cheaper. It'd be much cheaper.
Like, just ask them, like, can I drive your car for a bit? Can I see what it feels like? Because I really like it. I'm thinking about getting one. Just ask them, see if they'll let you drive it. And I mean, if they do, then you got it.
Right.
Only reason, like, for me, I got lucky. Because, because of Fast and the Furious, was like the first time I ever saw the Honda Civic.
Right.
The one I have. And after I saw that, I fell in love with the car. I loved the way it sounded. I loved the way it looked. Everything about that car was the sickest thing of my life. And I told myself, I was like, I'm going to get one of those one day. I'm going to own one. And then it so happened that my neighbor across the street had bought this red one. So whenever they bought that, I always looked at it and I was like, that car is going to be mine. I am going to own that car one day. And I mean, throughout all these years, I've always...
How many years from when you first saw it to you actually...
Let's see, in 99, so I saw the movie maybe like in 2003.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm 26, gonna be 27 this year, so...
So you saw the car and you knew, like, one day that's gonna be mine.
Yeah, I saw that car.
Then...
I saw it on the movie.
Right.
And I was like, I want that car, that's my dream car, and blah, blah, blah. And then maybe like... Well, they've always had that car. They had that car before I was born. But I didn't see it until like maybe a week, 2 weeks after I saw the movie.
Damn.
So after I saw the movie and I had my, sights dead on for a Honda Civic, not knowing what a Honda Civic was.
Right, not knowing shit.
Only reason I recognized the car was because of the headlights and the taillights of the ones on the Fast and Furious to my neighbor. So whenever I saw all that, I was like, I want that car so bad. You know, I was always asking my brothers and stuff, you know, like, what is that car? What is it called? They would always just tell me it's a Honda Civic. That's all they would tell me. They wouldn't tell me the year or anything else. So throughout the years, I just continued that. I was like, I want that car. One day I'm going to have that car. So I went through several amounts of Honda Civics. I think I bought, well, not several, let's not say that, but I bought a 2002 Honda Civic. Actually, I got that for free, a 2002 Honda Civic.
What?
And
did it have a motor?
Yeah, it had a motor. It was a full car. It was just crazy. Garbage. It was all dented up and shit. But I had that, like I said.
How the times have changed. Now you want it dented.
Being new into the whole car scene back then.
You're like, I can't.
And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I just gave the car away to someone of my friends.
Nice.
And he fixed it up, and then the motor ended up locking up. So it was trash either way.
That sucks.
And then I bought obviously went through some other cars, and then I finally bought I traded. I had a V6 Mustang, trash, and I traded for a 97 Honda Civic, white, and a 5-speed manual.
Nice.
Loved that car. The car was so sick. It was so clean. You know, I was rebuilding it, whatever the hell, because I actually had some knowledge then. And then, I just went out, continued to drive that car, and then the person that I got it from didn't tell me that there was a leak in the coolant system. So when I was driving it back from Kerrville, it got hot, and I cracked
the head.
I didn't crack the head. I cracked something. I think it was the what was it? It was a sprocket. The timings. I think it was the timing sprocket. Fucking for the chain and everything. I cracked that, and then all the spark plug wires, they all melted into the head itself.
What the frick?
So yeah, it fucked all that up. So I gave that away. I assumed I was like, well, the motor's done, so I was like, I'm just gonna give the car away. So I sold that for $500.
Nice.
Horrible decision. I wish I would have kept it and just fucking fixed it. But I was being lazy.
And you maybe didn't know.
And I didn't know. I mean, I didn't.
You didn't
at
really know
at the time, I
now.
didn't know how to do engine swaps. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff like I do now. Now I can like rip an engine out and put a new engine in and be fine. Or like completely rebuild an engine. I know how to do now. Back then, I didn't know a damn thing.
Right.
So later on down the road, obviously years come by and they pass or whatever. We are really close with my neighbor. My family is. We're really close with the neighbors. Like we're all like a big family. And my neighbor, the one that had the Honda, her son told me, they're like, oh hey, just letting you know, my mom is selling the red Civic. And I was like, are you serious? And then they were like, yeah. I was like, how much? And they said $550. I was like, done.
Right. I
went to a place called Cash Store where they loan you money.
Yeah.
I pulled out $600.
Oh, I thought you donated sperm.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. A whole lot of it. No, I went and pulled the cash, went straight to their house, because I knew where they live, obviously. Went straight to the house, opened the door, or knocked on the door. I didn't still fucking
like,
hey, I'm here to buy your car.
Here's your money. Throw it in her face.
No, I knocked. She said, she was asked what I was doing there, and I was like, I heard that you're selling your car, or is it still for sale? She was like, yeah. And I was like, you said $550, right? She was like, yep. So I gave her the money, she gave me the title and the keys, and I took off. And now it's been with me since then, and I've obviously changed it a lot. When I got it, it was like bone stock suspension, stock wheels,
yeah, dude,
whole body stock, everything.
When we met, how long had you had the car for?
Not very long. Because when we
6 months?
When we met, I had the Volkswagen still.
Oh yeah, that's right, you did.
I had the Volkswagen and my black Ram.
Your black Ram, that's right. Yes, because I was trying to remember.
Because I remember you complimented my truck. You told me like my truck was sick, whatever. Yeah. I just told you thanks. And then what we really started bonding over was whenever we started talking about Dragon Ball Z.
And then cars.
And then cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay, yeah. So it was
my Volkswagen and the truck.
Fire.
And then I sold both of those, and then I got the red Civic.
Yeah, bro.
Oh no.
I mean, you've had a lot of cars since you've had the red Civic. You've had some trucks.
Yeah. Since I met you, I've had the Volkswagen, the black Dodge, and then I had that blue Ford. And then I got this.
Then you got that, and then you sold everything and kept the Honda.
Yeah, and I had that for a year.
White trucks, a GM and a Chevy.
Yeah, and then I had two. I had a '98 Chevy Silverado, and I had a '94 Chevy Silverado.
Right.
And that was a 6-speed.
Right. Oh yeah,
manual
because
V6.
Someone was like, "You need a truck."
Yeah, exactly. My mom.
Yeah.
And then after that,
you're like, "Fuck trucks."
I sold those, because I was sick of it. And then I bought this white Volkswagen.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then I've had that, and I mean, I hate that car too. So, and then now I have the blue Civic, which is I recently just purchased that.
Bro, it looks good, man. When I was pulling in here, I was like, it's so patriotic, red, white, and blue.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that I have that. But I mean, soon it'll just be red, white, or red and blue.
Yeah, but even then, just pulling in, I'm like, bro, it looks.
Well, I can't wait till they finish
so cool.
that one, dude. I want that car to be slammed and have everything on it already because.
Have you priced out everything, like parts and stuff?
Everything's super cheap.
Where do you like? Okay, so
some parts I can't get on actual websites, or I can be, but they're just stupid expensive.
Right.
I'm not paying that amount of money for something that.
So for the listener listening, that is like, I have a Honda and I want to do some things. Where do they go? Like, what is your? I mean, you don't have to give your secrets away.
Depends on what you're going for. If you're wanting to go for power, like if you're wanting to go big turbo, K series, B series, or whatever.
No, fuck that. We're gonna talk about
that stuff,
slamming and body.
You go to like a good website, like a good for the power website. I'm not really sure because I don't go for that stuff.
Right.
But if you're going for like stance,
more
and you
stance.
just want your car to look good, but the reason I go to eBay.
Okay.
Because here's my reason, because everybody talks shit about eBay.
The
reason I go to eBay is because, let's say I buy like a front lip or side skirts from eBay like I have on my Civic, and I'm going down the road and I hit something and it rips my fucking side skirt or my lip off completely and fucks everything up.
Yeah.
I can go back on eBay and buy another one because it's cheap.
Oh, true that. Yeah.
I'm not wasting my money.
Spend $1,000 on a carbon fiber lip, you're done. Dude.
Exactly.
Like,
and see, that's another reason I don't buy like expensive stuff. Like my kit that I have on my car right now is a Mugen kit. I have the front lip, side skirts, the rear lips, just some random ass thing I got. But the front lip, the side skirts, my spoiler, the Mugen spoiler I have.
Right.
And my wheels are N keys 92s, which are old 15x8 wheels.
Yeah.
And
but they look so
the
good.
wheels I can't replace because those are fucking expensive.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I'm super careful when I drive because I've been doing this for so long.
You still have the guy's contact info from who you bought them from?
No, I'm sure I can find it though.
Because I wonder. He was selling motors and shit.
He had a CRX in the back. That he said he was selling. I don't know if he still has it though.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I got you distracted.
But here's the thing: is like the reason I go for that is because if my kit were to fall off, it would be fine. My front lip is polyurethane, so it can be ran over and whatever the hell can happen to it, and it'll be just like how it is. It'll be fine. I'll just have to repaint it. And then the side skirts are like a tough plastic. So same thing. I can run it over. I can do whatever I want with it, and it'll be perfectly fine.
You're good to go.
So it's like I'd rather buy the parts. Like, yes, they're cheaper, but I'd rather buy them because they'll last me longer. Because if I get the original Mugen kit, that's all fiberglass, dude. I hit a bump and it hits my lip, my whole shit's broken.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not doing that. I hate fiberglass work because I've done it before. So it's like, I'd rather go with polyurethane and plastic than fucking...
Also, like, OEM parts for Hondas are just, like, so expensive.
Yeah.
Like, lug nuts are, like, $95.
Yeah.
Or $100.
Yep.
You're like, what?
That's why I usually I go eBay for everything, man. I mean, yeah, it's fake, and or like, it's like rep, or it's not that good.
I'm gonna tell you what, eBay has better quality products than fucking Amazon.
Well, see, eBay's a vendor.
Amazon is the new old eBay.
Yeah. And see, like, I go with max speeding rods.
Okay.
Coilovers. People give so much hate to max speeding rods because it's a cheap coilover or whatever.
Sure.
I've had max speeding rods on every single one of my vehicles, and it runs perfectly fine.
There you go.
People like, I mean, because I've heard people like on TikTok and stuff. They're like, "Oh, max speeding rod sucks. Max speeding rod did this to my car. Their shit didn't last that long." I've had their coilovers on every single one of my cars. Note, I have owned 21 vehicles.
Right.
And I've had max speeding rods on every single one of my cars.
Damn.
And they run perfectly fine. I've never had an issue with any of my coilovers.
So if you're hearing this, Max Speeding Rods,
send me something, man. I need some coilovers from our Blue Civic.
yeah, bro.
I'm giving you. I love your stuff, dude. I use your stuff on everything. I get your freaking your coilovers. If I could, I'd get your turbos and all this other stuff. But I mean, honestly, I just want coilovers for the Blue Civic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never had an issue with Max Speeding Rods. You know, I always hear so much stuff about them that they're like, oh, they're cheap. They lasted me a day because the thing blew up or whatever.
Like, how are you driving your vehicle?
It's like, dude, are you fucking taking your vehicle off-roading?
Right. And that's part of the issue, right? It's like, so I was on the tube the other day, and there's this channel, and this guy has a Hellcat. Bro, he was breaking down his expenses. He goes through 2 sets of rear tires every 2 weeks because of the way he drives. Now, granted, he did this video, like, I want to say 2 or 3 months ago. Would you believe it that his transmission is blown up? He's got less than 15,000 miles on this brand new Hellcat.
By the way he's driving, I believe.
But I mean, bro, like, what do you expect? And then he called the insurance company, and they're like, "Oh, well, we saw a video with your car in it, and we saw the way you were driving it. We're not gonna warranty isn't covering it." And he's like, well, "What?"
And then they get mad about it.
Right? Like, why not?
It's like, dude, it's like you're doing this stuff.
The reason your transmission blew up is because you drove the car like a jackass.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single day.
And then they don't understand why.
Just because the car has the ability to be fast and go fast does not mean you drive it that way. I mean, bro, there's a video. He's in a Hellcat Charger. His buddy has a Hellcat Durango, and they're sitting back and forth, and they're just they're already doing 80 miles an hour, and they're like, gas let off, gas let off, gas let off, to hear the winding of the supercharger.
Yeah, that's gonna break your shit.
And you hear, you know, between the two, and it's like, that is so dumb, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you spent a lot of money on that car.
Exactly.
And you're still paying for it.
Yeah.
Chances are you're still paying money for it. It has a blown transmission. So you have 2 options. Pay the 15 or 20K to fix your transmission on top of the payments, get your car and enjoy it, and treat it with respect, or don't pay it, get it repoed, and still pay for your car.
Yep.
Just be paying for something that you can't even look at. Like, it's just, people, you have to take care of your shit.
Yep.
You have to take care of your car.
You can't just expect to put it on there and be like, oh, it's going to work no matter what.
This is fine. Like, if you're driving, if you're racing and hitting corners, and then you need a good, like,
sponsor.
IBOC, you know, or whatever they're called. You need, like, really good, high quality for that thing. If you're racing, and I'm not talking about driving up and down the highway racing. I'm talking about there's
actual
a track racing.
Like legally.
Then you're going to need the upgraded parts to do that, and you better put the money up front because you're going to put the wear and tear on your vehicle.
Yep.
If you're just driving up and down the road,
being a jackass.
Or no, I mean, if you're just driving up and down the road going to and from work and you want a nice, comfortable little ride, then I'm sure what you're talking about
is
more than enough.
That's the thing, too, is that, you know, I was watching a video on YouTube as well, and this dude was talking about the Max Speeding Rod coilovers. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it, cool. Because I was like I said, I like Max Speeding Rods.
Right.
And he was in his car, and he was like, oh, you know, I'm going to show you why you don't buy Max Speeding Rods because, you know, they're so cheap and blah, blah, blah. And he literally goes off-roading. Like, bunch of rocks, bunch of bumps, bunch of, like, dips in there. And it's like why are you doing that?
Right.
Like, you're making it break because you're doing that.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, oh, my other coilovers won't do this because, you know, they're high quality and I paid a lot of money. But it's like, the only reason it breaks is because you don't take care of it.
Right.
If you go over, like, a big enough speed bump or a pothole, any coilover will fucking break.
Sure.
You'll blow it out or you'll bend it because that happens. So it's like you said, if you're going to go, like, drifting or do drag racing, you need to get the right suspension for it. Yeah. Because there's suspension made for all this type of stuff.
Get the right parts for the thing you're going to do. It's like taking, you know, the Ducati motorcycle, beautiful bike.
Oh, yeah.
But that bike would do terrible in the dirt.
Exactly.
That's why you don't take a dirt bike riding. There are certain things you just don't do.
Yeah.
It's like they make rally coilovers for a reason.
Yep.
So it will withstand the
the abuse.
Yeah, the abuse. Yeah. I mean, and it's built specifically, but guess what? There's a cost for that.
Exactly.
I mean, that's stupid.
And so, like, for me, like, the reason I said is, like, the reason I go for Max Speeding Rods, it's more affordable. For
what it is and what it offers, its price point is perfect.
Exactly. There you go. That's what I was trying to say, but I don't know how to fucking talk today.
There you go.
But, For me, I have my show car. Yeah.
Right.
And I drove that for an entire year.
Oh yeah.
Before I started having issues. And note, the issues aren't even with the coilovers. The issues
Correct.
are with the engine itself because it's old. And I drove.
This is why you shouldn't get max speed rods. My engine broke.
Pretty much
what the fuck, bro?
That's what the internet does.
So dumb, dude.
But I drove, from here or from where I live to, miles out of town or anywhere. I drove to your house.
Yeah, bro, which is fucking country.
It's far. And I went on your road.
Yeah, country
and it was fine. The car drove fine the entire time. So that's what I'm saying. It's like if you're going to abuse your suspension, you're gonna get what you get.
Yep. 100%.
Like if something breaks, that's your fault, not the part's fault.
Yeah, it's just too easy nowadays for people to be like, oh, well, it must be the thing I put on. It wasn't me.
Exactly.
Like, no, you're the idiot, not the product.
Yep.
The product didn't break your car. You, the person driving the car, broke the fucking car.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an inanimate object. It can't break it. If you just put it on and you do it wrong, but you never move the car, nothing will ever happen.
Nope.
It's crazy.
It'll be perfectly fine. So through the whole story of this, or the whole meaning behind all this, Max Speed Rods, if you're listening, I need some coilovers for a '93 Honda Civic.
Yeah, and we'll put Max Speed Rod stickers all over the car. I'll put them on my forehead.
Represent. I'm just kidding. But no, behind the meaning of all this is just don't expect stuff to be you pay $200 on something. Don't expect it to be fucking the best thing in the world if you're not going to treat it right.
You're going to get what you pay for, right?
Exactly.
But understand, you're going to get what you pay for. That's good in both sense. If you're like, hey, look, I am just a casual driver up and down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I just want better suspension than what comes from the factory, OEM. I want to kind of feel that a little bit more of that aggressiveness, or I want a little more give, or I don't want my head to bounce off the roof every time I hit a pebble in the road. Then buy the suspension and the coilover set that you need to be able to get that.
Yep.
You've got people and products that span all ranges.
Yeah.
If your budget is, man, I can really only afford $300. Cool, there's a company out there that makes something.
Exactly.
And instead of just reading the reviews of everybody else, instead of listening to Tom, Dick, and Harry tell you how bad it is, just go fucking buy the part and be your own judge on it. Stop listening to all these people out here whose opinions don't matter unless, are they the one buying the product for you? Or who fucking cares? Go buy it. It's $300.
That's what I'm saying about my red Civic is that I built this car on a budget.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of money just to be throwing left and right. Every time I have a little bit of money that I can just throw at the car, I throw it at the car.
100%.
I'll buy parts here and there. No, it's not $4,000 parts because.
But even if it was, it's dumb. because that is the product you want on your car.
Exactly. If you have the money to spend on those parts,
then do it.
Spend it.
But even if you have the money to spend on those parts, doesn't mean you need that fucking part.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just because you have
if it's gonna help the car perform better, let me just get that. If it's gonna help the car perform better, breathe
for
better,
what you're trying to
better,
do,
then do it.
Go for it.
Knock it out.
Right.
But if it's just a cosmetic look that you're wanting to look for the car to look cool or whatever,
right?
Don't spend fucking $5,000 on a carbon fiber.
Unless that's what you love, and then if that's your shit, go for it.
Drive your car to enjoy it. Don't drive it to be a jackass.
Right, and don't just do what everyone else does because that's what everyone else does.
Don't do everything that you see on YouTube.
Yeah, for
because
real.
Note the difference is that the people on YouTube making those videos with a lot of subscribers and crap, they're making big bucks from doing all that stuff.
True.
You are not.
Well, you may not be. Yeah.
Unless you have money, unless you have the money to be doing stuff like that, then go ahead and do it. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
But if you
But I would just say, be a leader, don't be a follower.
Exactly.
Do the things you like to do
and
because you like to do them.
Be cautious of your decisions.
Yeah, because you're gonna
get that gut feeling. If you have a bad gut feeling, don't do it. Obviously,
yeah.
If you're not getting a gut feeling about it, go for it. Shoot for the stars.
Yeah.
But
facts. Also understand this. I would definitely put this out there because we're talking a lot about racing and up and down the road. One of the things that I can't stand when I see people doing videos of cutting in and out of traffic So if you're driving a car and you're doing 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, and you're popping in and out of traffic, because I see these videos all the time on YouTube.
So do I.
Understand, you may make that cut in and cut out, but you are putting every single buddy else's life at danger because of your actions. And so you may not get into an accident, but you may cause someone else to get into an accident because they're scared or they're freaked out. Like, what if it was your mom driving a car? What if it was your woman driving and some guy's whipping in and out and she freaks out and crashes and dies, or she gets injured? Like, how would you feel about that? Well, the movies are fake, bro.
What I would say is just keep it on the track.
Yeah, keep it on track.
If you want to go and, haul ass, go 100-something miles per hour, go to a time attack track.
Yeah.
If you want to go, in a straight line hauling ass, go to a drag track. And if you want to go drifting, go to a track. Yeah, just keep it on the track, so that way you're safe, the people around you are safe.
And there's people there that can help you, God forbid.
It's just safer that way.
Yeah, and it's because your life is important.
Exactly.
Like, you matter, your life matters, but so if your life matters, then everybody else's life matters too. And again, you may not, and you may be like, oh, well, I've never gotten in an accident or da-da-da-da. Not yet.
Yep.
And also what you don't know is, like, you may not have gotten to an accident, but how many accidents have you caused? How many people aren't able to go home to their loved ones because, and I'm not judging anyone listening, because I was the asshole bobbing in and out of traffic.
As was I. It's the same thing with the takeovers. What's the point of you blocking off an entire highway when people are trying to get places? I'm not trying to be an old guy and be like, oh, well, that's fucking stupid.
Right.
I'm just saying, be smart with your decisions. Don't be going in circles, because I've seen in most of those takeovers, people get hit by the damn car.
Oh, yeah.
And then
they're like, I'm going to go touch the car. I'm going to go set the car on fire.
Like,
the guy got ran over.
Yeah.
And people are sitting there laughing. Like, oh, his pants came off.
I've seen people that, get hit, and then they start pulling...
No, pull them out of the cars.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah. I mean,
that's like, dude, it's like you're asking to get hit and get beat up because you're deciding to do stupid shit like this.
Or you're just there.
Or the people that, purposely walk right in front of the car and then get hit, and then they get mad afterwards, like, why did you hit me? It's like, what do you think I fucking hit you? You got in the way.
Bro, I'm doing donuts. Why are you out here doing it?
Exactly.
Bro, it's just so dumb.
So it's just stuff like that, dude. It's just like keep it to the track.
Keep it safe.
And if you're not gonna be doing stuff like that, and you just want to drive like a stancy car and cruise around.
Go to the shows. Go to
shows. Cruise on the streets and stuff.
Go meet up with your buddies.
Even meets nowadays. Meets nowadays are just ridiculous. Because, I'm not gonna say ridiculous.
What I used to do, and we probably used to do this before, because the internet has totally changed stuff for sure. It's made all these things that are real seem not real. Mm-hmm. And then people do it and they really get hurt and injured, and they're like, well, that didn't happen on YouTube. And it's like, well, YouTube isn't the reality, bro.
Yeah.
Cutting and editing videos make something look like it isn't. Mm-hmm. Right? And Hollywood isn't real. Fast and Furious is not real. All those cars on the road are doing 1 mile an hour, and the people driving the cars are doing 5.
Or they're not even moving.
Or they're not even in a car. They're in a green screen. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? It's just it's not worth it. It's not worth your life. It's not worth the lives of other people either. Mm-hmm. And even by you being in a takeover, mm-hmm. you may not be the person doing the donuts. You're just in the crowd. You're a part of the problem. You're there, you're egging them on, you're watching, and it's making them want to perform. Don't go. Don't be there.
Yeah.
Just don't support it. If you don't support it, then you just got one jackass in the middle of the street doing donuts surrounded by cops and not a crowd of people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's the difference. It's just don't support it. But
so that's why I go to car shows, because car shows, they're all about everything.
It's a different energy.
You have respect about trucks, motorcycles, cars, wagons. Stance, not stance.
Yep, facts.
The car shows, they care about everything, and that's why I go to car shows.
They're cool, dude.
And they're amazing. People have some amazing ideas.
And a hangar and an airport, and it's all lit up.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It's beautiful. It's the coolest thing. It makes me think of GTA sometimes.
Yeah.
Or different car games.
But that's why I go to car shows only. And so it's expensive. It's not free. But
there's a reason, because when you pay for something, you value it more.
Yeah, exactly.
You just show up at a Walmart parking lot and some jackass is doing donuts and revving it up and tearing it up. You're like, oh yeah.
And a bunch of stock Camaros, stock Mustangs, and stock Challengers,
bunch of rental cars.
Yeah.
It's like
that's when I
just
leave.
Go to the airport parking lot.
I mean, I have no hate on anybody's car. You know,
No, not at all.
Do as you please. Do what you want. You know, if you like your car stock or you want to paint your wheels black or whatever, do as you want, dude. I mean, it's your choice, your car, your problem. You're the one driving it. But like in my eyes, it's like, don't talk crap about other people's vehicles, man.
Right.
Just respect it.
Just
You know, we're just trying to be a big car community. Try to have respect and love for all.
Yeah.
And just
do unto others as you'd want done to you.
Exactly.
Treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yes, exactly. Just expect season 2 to be more about cars this time.
Yeah.
Not so much anime. Either way.
Yeah.
Expect more. Expect a lot. Be hyped for season 2.
Hype.
We're back. We're back, baby.
In full swing.
Hell yeah.
Big Dick is back in town. I don't know who he is. It's not me, but yeah.
Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content.
Peace.
Peace.